Hi folks, this is your NWIS Planning Outlook with the details into the bank holiday weekend and beyond. A lot of rain has been falling over many places during Wednesday, and that will leave wet ground conditions and some localised flooding into Thursday. The leftovers of this weather system producing extensive low cloud, some further rain at times over the next day or so. A gradual improving trend as we go into the start of the weekend, but the outlook is rather mixed and changeable even onwards into next week. Here's the area of low pressure responsible for the wet conditions then still around across Scotland and northern England on Thursday. Some heavy rain across central and southern parts of Scotland. Areas of rain elsewhere, fairly persistent too over more eastern parts of the Highlands, breaking up a little bit across more western areas, but extensive cloud across the hills and mountains all the way through the day. Rather cloudy as well across northern England and Wales, with rain fairly persistent too across northern parts of Wales. The heaviest rain may ease, but staying generally damp through much of the day. Rather cool feeling as well, with northerly winds, northwesterly across England and Wales, and that will be up to gale force at times across higher mountains. The peak speeds just tending to drop a bit as the day goes on. That low pressure hasn't really moved, but it's weakened considerably by the time we get into Friday, so much lighter winds overall for the daytime. And still the dregs of areas of rain, but not as persistent or heavy. One or two local showers that may just form. A lot of cloud still across the hills and mountains, the bases just rising a bit during the daytime, but it may struggle to clear many of the higher summits for too long, often then shrouding the tops throughout the daytime. By the time we get into Saturday, there is a strengthening south to southeasterly wind, especially across more western regions during the day. We'll start off with a lot of low cloud again and bits and pieces of drizzly rain around. That will all tend to fade, and we'll get some lift of the cloud and substantial breaks developing onwards into the afternoon. So a bit of a day of two halves, where the best of conditions broadly are in the afternoon and early evening. Some high cloud just starting to encroach into Wales ahead of a front over Ireland, but this shouldn't bring any rain across Wales until Saturday night. Some uncertainty on the progress eastwards of that front into Sunday. Generally it's a weakening feature, but still producing some patchy rain and some local showers breaking out during the daytime, one or two of these on the heavy side, but quite hit and miss, and some places could stay dry more often throughout the day. Fairly mild temperatures, quite warm in any sunshine. The wind typically from the south to southeast, gustiest near to western coasts. Variable amounts of cloud around, sometimes covering the higher tops. Best of breaks typically further toward the north of the Highlands. A fair amount of uncertainty naturally at this distance into Bank Holiday Monday. Basically a day of sunshine and showers is to be expected, one or two of those again on the heavy side by the afternoon. A hint that western regions could fare better with a ridge of high pressure trying to build here, so it could just be that the shower risk becomes greater further eastwards. Uncertainty of developments of low pressure around the Low Countries could just pivot some of those fronts back towards us though, so I'd watch the forecast carefully at this distance. But the message into next week is more likely to look toward the Atlantic weather patterns moving their way in. Taking that sequence onwards over a few days next week, you'll just see how we do have a bit more mobility to the weather pattern. The Atlantic west-southwesterly flow trying to get in, low pressure to the northwest of the British Isles, and high pressure down toward the Bay of Biscay, which is different to what we've seen in some recent weeks. We've not really seen these southwesterly types for a while. But that means we are at the risk of some areas of rain at times, showery conditions on some days, sometimes some bright spells, other times some rather murky low cloud, as just the temperature and humidity varies from day to day as these fronts pass through. Fairly unsettled looks to be the trend then, with some rain most frequent in more western regions, especially in western Scotland. All a bit of a mixture then as we go forwards. Keep up to date with all your local information every day on our website. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.